Coming off this 4-game road trip, I'm disappointed in the fact that we went 0-4. I know we had a young team, we were 2-2 at break at the league, and the thing probably disappoints me most is we lost at Shepherd by 3, and we lost at Urbana by 5. First semester we were having trouble scoring. Now it seems like we can score, but we can't stop anybody. And your defense is supposed to be the first thing to come along, and then it's supposed to stay with you all year. Well, unfortunately, it's been, the offense has come around. We scored 83 the other night at Urbana, 73 at Shepherd, and there are some games, we could already score 40, but then we couldn't get stopped. So I think that's the thing that disappointed me most. Again, you got to try to stay positive with young kids, and now we got to try to find a way. We've got probably the two best teams in the league coming here with William and West Liberty, but we got to try to stay positive and try to find a way to win a game.
During this recent losing streak, it seems like you guys are always ahead at the end of the first quarter at the end of halftime. Is it a point of emphasis to play all 4 quarters?
Yes, yeah. The only game we really have been off to a slow start, we got off to such a slow start at Notre Dame. I don't know what it was, maybe the weather, because it woke up and every time we go to Notre Dame, it seemed like it snows. Woke up and we were down like 14 in the first quarter. Then we scored 33 points in the third quarter. That's in only 10 minutes of basketball. Next thing, they were only down 2. And then, again, we just run out of gas. But I think that's something with the inexperience in the youth is learning how to play 40. And, some people I've talked to, it's, I don't care if it's baseball, playing 9, all the 4 quarters. We've got to find a way to play 4 quarters. And I think, again, if we do that, we can start winning the close ones.
Last 2 games, Danielle's had great outings at Notre Dame and at Urbana. How have you seen her grow into being the kind of player who puts up those performances back to back?
Well, Danielle Captain scored 2,000 points in high school. And I don't care if the other team leaves the gym. 2,000 points is still a lot of points to score. And, now she's just got to feel, the hoop's big as a river. Because every time she shoots, it feels like it's going in. And she kind of started that in the second quarter. And, she's finally got out of habit, when she just catches and shoots, she can shoot. And that's what we want her to do. And again, I think now she's got the confidence. Now she's going to have to change a little bit. People fly at her. She's 5'7". So again, she's got to make sure now she can make the change. Got to get shot off a little quicker. But again, that gives us that primetime score that we haven't had for a couple of years, probably since Andrea Bertrand. So again, now, and then the Booth kid, a freshman, had 26 at Urbana. So again, hopefully those 2 now can take off and give us those 2 modified scores.
What do you say to the freshmen and the inexperienced players when they know that there's a nationally ranked team coming in? What do you say to them before the game?
They lace up like we do. We're not playing UConn, we're not playing Duke, West Liberty, and we've beaten West Liberty before. So again, you just take an approach like that. Yeah, I know they're having a great year and everything like that. And, Coach Allen's been there for a ton of years and he's got a great program. But again, it's not like they're still playing Division II basketball. It's not again like we're playing UConn, Duke, South Carolina, somewhere like that. So you take that approach and just to go play and don't get intimidated by the name on the jersey. Let's just see what we can get out of it.
How does the team feel with the road trip behind them now they can focus on getting back to kind of a regular routine school and have home games this weekend?
I'm sure they're going to be happy. We were off yesterday. We had bus problems getting back from Urbana. I don't think we rolled in here until about 5 o'clock Wednesday morning. And as old as I am, I stayed home yesterday. So to be honest with you, I haven't seen them. I'll see them today at practice. But they've got to be more of a comfort zone. I've told them several times that, when we lost 2 league titles over breaks in previous my coaching career because we were not in that routine. They act like it's great, but down deep they would rather have everybody else here, go to class, practice a couple hours, then go about their business instead of just practice, laying in the dorm and hanging out. So again, I think it's they'll be more at ease, back in regular routine, buddies here, going to class and playing some home games.
Like Kenny said, it's good to end that 4-game stretch. We were in a bus or a hotel for 8 out of 10 days. So it's good to kind of get back home. 2-2 in that stretch, ended with the two positive notes there on the end. So didn't start off necessarily well. Shepherd, I know we let slip through our fingers. I thought we had a pretty good outing at Fairmont, and then to get those 2 at Notre Dame and Urbana, those are 2 tough places to play, especially with all the travel we've had. So Big weekend coming up, 2 nationally ranked teams entering the gym, and this is a week to where I don't really have to do much motivating. You do a lot of tactical things, you do a lot of game planning things. The motivation's there, so I don't have to worry about getting our guys ready to play. I'm not going to have to worry about whether they'll show up to practice ready to prepare. So it's just we got to get the game plan right and look forward to the weekend.
What was your energy level like yesterday? Did the guys practice yesterday?
No, we got it yesterday off, like Kenny said. We had bus malfunctions. I think I crawled into bed 5:29 a.m. So no, they had the day off. And one thing I was proud about, I had the teachers tell me all my guys made it to class with that travel. So they had a day yesterday to kind of kick back and hopefully catch up on some rest. And we need 2 good days of preparation.
Started the second half out of Urbana, 22 straight points. Is that first for you as a player or a coach?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen that. We were in control of the game in the first half, and in about the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes, it's like we just suddenly said, the heck with playing defense, we'll just stand here. So, there was a little bit of motivating at halftime, I guess if motivation is the right word, and came out in the second half and really defended. I mean, I know that the thing that everybody's, you look at, say a 22-0 run, the impressive part's the 0. I think they were over their first 11, if my memory serves me correct. So that allows you to have runs. Defense starts runs and defense extends runs. So that kind of gave us a little cushion to where we could hold on there.
How does that feed on the players psychologically when the run starts and you get the lead back?
Our team's really good about having each other's back. So you can watch our bench and tell that even guys, because the hard thing is you got 5 guys playing, you have 8 guys that want to play. So the 8 guys are engaged and they're very encouraging. And the one thing I got to give about our guys is the guys that are sitting on the bench understand that as a coach, we're not going to make a sub until we have to. We don't just sub a sub. There's got to be a reason for it. And when you're on a 22-0 run, that's no reason to substitute. So it gives the guys a jolt, and you hope they just continue to learn that defense is what does it. Don't get caught up on the 22. Focus on the 0.
You guys went 2 to 3 weeks without a win. Was that good to get those 2 at Urbana?
Thanks for reminding me that. Yeah, and you go up to Notre Dame, which is a place we hadn't won yet, and that's what, like you were talking about, we lost 3 or 4. We were on a skid there. Actually, I think we lost 3 in a row. So to go up in that environment at Notre Dame with as offensively gifted as that team is, and to win in a game to where I think we trailed, we led for almost the whole game, and to win the way we did was encouraging, and it just makes you feel good about it, and all of a sudden your guys kind of start to feel a little bit more confidence in them, but I hope we learn from those 3 games, because that's all you can do, and make us better, that we're not going to go into a season and win 5 out of 6 all the time. You're going to have those bumps in the road, and hopefully that's our last one.
Coach, your team shot 53% in one game, 57.9 in the next game. What's changed, or can you put your finger on that?
No, I can't. I hope we continue to do it, because we're going to have to score a lot of points here this weekend to beat Wheeling and West Liberty. But I think if you look at it, it's just the shots we're taking. I think if you look early in the season, we relied a lot on Aaron and Rob making perimeter shots. And then there in about the 5th, 6th, 7th game, we started throwing the ball down to Terry and those guys. So I think it's a culmination of we're figuring out how to do it collectively and not rely on our perimeter one day and our interior the next. So it's going to take time, and the good thing is we're sharing the basketball. We don't have selfish players. You look at our numbers, and Rob's averaging 25, and you have Aaron, who's a returning first-team all-conference player. But a lot of them understand that Terry Hopewell shoots 67% from the field, so he needs to take a lot of shots. So that's encouraging for us. But hopefully we can continue that streak.
I think Saturday's game against the Cardinals is going to be your first against them since last year's tournament.
Yeah.
What's kind of the mindset in terms of how that game went, the guys coming back, how they remember that?
We knew that game up in Charleston last year at the end of our season was, if you look back, it was just a really good game. It was 2 good teams. Unfortunately, we didn't make the last shot, but it was 2 really good teams. And you look at what's returning; they return every single player, and we return all but 2. So it's going to be there's a lot of familiarity. The scouting report won't be that difficult. Our guys will remember them. But it's going to be one of those games where I don't think either team will have a large margin for error because of who we are. So everything's going to matter. You can't take a possession off either one of these teams. So they're going to, and I think contrary to what people think about Wheeling and West Liberty, you look at all they score, they're probably, I would say, 2 toughest teams in the league. Physically, how they play a lot of downhill, a lot of through your body type of basketball. So don't get caught up in West Liberty being a three-point shooting unit. They're good at it, and Wheeling as well, but, you know, they're gonna come downhill at us, and they're gonna play a game around the rim. That's just gonna require a certain level of toughness.
Coach, can you talk about your bench play? I know Notre Dame College, you had King Shannon come off the bench
Yeah.
and put in 15, and it seemed like Tommy Bolt was really.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing that we had to develop, and we knew going into the season with Cam taking a year off and Tommy being a freshman, that we had to develop our bench. We knew we had in Aaron, we knew you had in Demetrius and Rob and those guys and Terry, but we had to develop some depth. And the thing about freshmen is it's going to come and go, like with Tommy, it's going to come and go. And unfortunately for him, we make his first collegiate start against Fairmont, who's going to play similar to WVU and be up in your face. So he was a little wide-eyed, and then all of a sudden at Notre Dame and Urbana it slows down a little bit for him, and in a home hopefully it will too. But Cam coming along as well, you know, all for 18 months of basketball. So those guys have got to continue to improve. We got to continue to develop our bench, because as this season goes along and you're playing these road games, and now we have 5 games, I think, in like 12 days, and their job's not done. So we have to continue to put a lot on them, and those guys respond and they continue to get better.
What did you guys do during the engine problems and stuff in Ohio?
We sat at Tamarack, and we pulled into Tamarack and Beckley at, I think it was like 2:25, 2:30, and we sat there until about 3:50. So shockingly enough, at Tamarack, Burger King's still open, so we could get a snack there. They have a little thing where you get some peanuts and things, but we sat there. And fortunately for us, we weren't out in the cold. We weren't on the side of the road for safety reasons, but you know, the good part is that was the last of the road trips. That would have been at the end of the Fairmont trip, and then we had to turn around 2 days and get back on the bus. But you know, I guess that's part of it, and you got to roll with the punches.
Something you'll remember.
That's a trip we'll never remember. It's easier to do that after a win too than do it after. You got to sit there mauling it after a loss. That's not very fun. So, thanks guys.